Well, hello. Utilizing Adam J. Bates' race rhetoric in technology, I'm going to be in chapter 5. I'm in the book with it today. Rewriting racist code. The Black Jeremiad as counter technology in race theory. There you go, right there. Yeah. All right. And the specific concept that I want to discuss that piqued my interest, tickled me fancy, was the concept of precepts, right? Specific commands programmed into a software package, right? And this resonated with me because the idea of the fact that there's an algorithm that influences and determines the course of our lives or society in a gatekeeping fashion is concerning, utterly. It subtly can create a feeling of hopelessness within the Black community, and I'll explain what I mean after viewing the documentary Coded Bias and learning that there's an automated system which sifts through resumes and applications, deciding who and who is not a desirable for that opportunity. And then hearing them discuss that application, or that technology is biased because of its creator, because of the processes that the creator installed, and because of the operations and the steps that it takes in determining, you get what I'm saying? All the factors that play into its decision-making processes are from the biases of its own creators, which we learned from the film. It made me immediately question if it even mattered or not. Was it even worth it to apply if there was a system specifically in place to discard me? You get what I'm saying? That's the feeling of hopelessness. And one area I see this a lot, I used to want to study film and things of that nature. So I studied documentary, I studied actors and all that good stuff, right? One area I see this in a lot is like the Grammys. The Grammys. You'll have an African American Black artist who did successfully well in this feature, in this film, versus this Caucasian or non-Black, non-person of color who did moderately well in this film, and then in their film. You get what I'm saying? But they'll always get it over, and it's been talked about by artists. It's been talked about by people who were at the Grammy. You know what I'm saying? It's been mentioned that these pretty much these spaces are designed in a way where the biases are just like they're blatant. It's blatantly biased. Like from the voting polls to, you get what I'm saying? Like who's nominated, it's biased. But yeah. So you could say the Grammys versus the Golden Globes versus the BET Awards. Like, you get what I'm. Yeah. So however, since the spiritual aspect was mentioned in Winchester's Engaging the Black Ethos, I too will take it there. Okay, so here we go. So follow me. So the Bible refers to Satan, the adversary, opposition, the Satan is the correct term, right, as the prince of the air, right? And we know Satan as desiring to be like God, which is what got him kicked out of heaven, right? Follow me. He's the prince of the air, airplay, air waves. You get what I'm saying? The internet. He wants to be omnipotent. He wants to be omniscient, everywhere, all powerful, right? So he's going to use this thing called the internet, which in some shape, way, form, or fashion gives that perception that it's everywhere, that it's all knowing. It's not, it's limited. But in the same way, he's using this, right, as a tool to keep not even people of color, but humanity, right, struggling against one another, in opposition, not with each other, not just with each other, but with ourselves, right? And so it is things like these, it is the spiritual factors which come into play, which keep people oppressed, right? Oppressing liberties and suppressing voices through technology, which lead to their need for outlets, the outlets that we talked about last week, the underground, right? Hence, the need for his false precepts, right? The checklist needed to make it into where I'm trying to get to, right? That's that spiritual aspect that I'm bringing in. It may not be what Winchester was talking about, but if we're talking spiritual, then we're gonna get spiritual, right? You can't. Okay. So, and on this account, we indeed must begin to search for both spiritual and physical solutions to our issues, right? We've been fighting with foot soldiers for long enough, and now it's time for some air support. You get what I'm saying? Because we can only force our way. I ain't even gonna take it that far though. But I would say this: if we had better teachings and studies on algorithms and AIs as they're coming about nowadays, right? And we learn how to embrace them, right? So that we can begin to subvert the influence of this algorithm that it has on us, right? And instead of it influencing us, we can influence it, right? Because it picks up on what you like. It studies, like we watched in the film, it studies how long you look at something, what you like consistently, who you like consistently. You get what I'm saying? So once you understand, then you can begin to shape your own feed, your own timeline. You get what I'm saying? You limit its power, you take your power back. And we need more teachings on that. We need more studies on that. But then again, will that come under fire as well? Because what if people in powerful positions are using it to back up their agenda? You get me? But that's another conversation. Okay, right? And you know, and what I mean, I said it was another conversation, but it's really this conversation because we talk about it in dichotomies, right? When we talk about healthcare for Black women, come on, healthcare for Black women, right? How the processes to pretty much to filter African American women against, or women of color against, white women. The needs is unequal. It's inequality. It's structural inequality, right? So what needs to be done is there needs to be an investigation on the application processes, right? You get what I'm saying? Like there needs to be an investigation. It needs to be addressed. The structural racism needs to be addressed. It needs to be the implicit biases from healthcare professionals, from doctors, from people who create these systems. You know what I'm saying? These algorithms, right? Because it's not only the creator's fault, but it's also the people who maintain. Come on, who feed into it, who play into it, who keep it going, who keep it up, right? To perpetual biases in these systems. You get me? So that we can pretty much, as Winchester was saying, so that we can cultivate a new algorithm that is specifically designed for marginalized communities. Since the one that exists today is designed to oppose marginalized communities. So that's what we need to do to close that dichotomy. Yeah. Thank you for listening.